What if I told you there's an ancient technology so advanced we've literally lost the ability to replicate it? Today, we're going to dive into an artifact that has been defying modern science for centuries.
Okay, get this. For over 1,600 years, this single iron pillar has been exposed to everything Mother Nature could possibly throw at it. We're talking monsoon rains, scorching heat, pollution, you name it.
And look, by every law of chemistry we know, this thing should have corroded, crumbled, and just disappeared centuries ago. Iron, when you leave it outside, rusts. That's just what it does, end of story. Except, not for this pillar.
And that is the huge question we're tackling here. How on earth did an ancient civilization create this massive iron structure that simply refuses to decay? The answer, it turns out, challenges our whole idea of progress.
Just think about it for a second. Today, we spend billions of dollars, billions with a B, every single year fighting a losing battle against rust. Our bridges collapse, our cars fall apart, our buildings need constant, expensive work. Rust is this quiet, relentless enemy for us. And yet this ancient pillar just stands there. No paint, no special coatings, zero upkeep.
So, what are we actually looking at? Well, right in the heart of Delhi, India, stands this 23-foot-tall iron pillar. It weighs more than 6 tons. That's about the weight of 3 cars stacked on top of each other. And it was forged way back in the 4th century, a time when iron was known for being brittle and, you guessed it, super prone to rust. This thing was an anomaly from day one.
You know, for centuries, empires rose and fell all around it. Cities were looted, temples were destroyed, but the pillar, it just remained, completely unchanged. It wasn't until the 1800s that British engineers rediscovered it and noticed something impossible. After more than 1,000 years out in the open, it had almost no corrosion. Of course, as soon as this was realized, the scientists had to get involved. They took samples, and they were expecting to find some kind of advanced alloy or a secret protective coating. But what they found inside, well, at first, it made absolutely no sense at all.
Here's what they discovered. The pillar is made of incredibly pure iron. But, and this is the key, it also had a really high percentage of phosphorus. Now, in modern steelmaking, phosphorus is a big no-no. It's considered a flaw, an impurity that makes metal brittle. So the scientists thought, aha, a defect. But they were so wrong.
And this is where the story gets really brilliant. You see, the pillar doesn't fight off rust. It prevents rust from ever even forming. That supposed flaw, the phosphorus, was actually the secret to its immortality.
So how did they do it? Well, ancient blacksmiths used a slow, low-temperature process to forge the iron. You can think of it like carefully layering and hammering the metal together, rather than just melting it all down. This painstaking method unintentionally pushed all those phosphorus impurities right up to the surface.
Over time, that phosphorus on the surface reacted with the air and moisture to form this incredibly thin, invisible, and completely impenetrable protective layer. Scientists named it Misawite. It's literally an invisible shield that stops corrosion dead in its tracks before it can even start.
Okay, so, mystery solved, right? We know the chemistry. We should be able to make rust-proof iron just like it. But here's the kicker. We can't. Modern labs have tried to recreate it, and most have failed. So why is it so hard to copy?
Because it wasn't just a formula. It was a lost art. The ancient builders didn't write manuals or patent their techniques. This knowledge was passed down from master to apprentice through their hands, not through books. It's a kind of genius that you can't just reverse engineer from the final product. And when those artisans disappeared, the secret of permanence disappeared with them. And the mystery just keeps getting deeper. Historical records show the pillar wasn't even originally built where it stands today. It was moved there centuries after it was made. How do you transport a 6-ton, 23-foot pillar across ancient terrain without cranes, paved roads, or modern trucks? We simply don't know. But this pillar isn't just an ancient artifact. It's really a mirror. It forces us to ask some pretty uncomfortable questions about our own definition of technology and what progress really means. The ancient world and our modern world operate on 2 completely different philosophies. Today, our technology is driven by speed, profit, and scale. Back then, for a project like this, it seems it was driven by one thing above all else: durability.
And this gets to the very core of the difference. So much of our modern world is built on planned obsolescence. Things are designed to be replaced because that's what's profitable. But this pillar was designed with the opposite intention. It was meant to last forever. For them, permanence was the ultimate goal.
And that is the silent warning the pillar carries.
We have more processing power in our phones than the computers that sent us to the moon, yet we can't build a bridge that lasts as long as this simple iron pillar. We've gained speed for sure, but maybe we've lost some substance along the way.
The big takeaway here is that the most powerful technologies aren't always the newest or the fastest. They're the ones that endure, the ones that refuse to disappear. The iron pillar is a 1,600-year-old reminder of a kind of perfection we have yet to reclaim.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Looking at evidence like the iron pillar, does it make you wonder what other technologies, what other forms of knowledge we may have simply forgotten along the way?